This video is powered by, as always, entertainment. If you enjoyed this content, consider becoming a patron over on patreon.com/asalways for access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The Kill Connor Clubhouse, early access to the Cinema Room podcast, being part of polls for future videos, and other early access material. With that said, please enjoy the video. Ubisoft, since their inception, have had a habit of copying game systems across from one game to all of their games. After Assassin's Creed, it was viewpoints. Then every game had to have a multiplayer feature. Then it was co-op, and now it's making everything a light RPG. A lot of people that are fans of the Assassin's Creed franchise have been asking the question, this is great, or this is not great, depending on your point of view. Will we ever get games like Assassin's Creed 2, like Assassin's Creed Unity? Will we ever get those smaller, more personal stories? Not everything needs to be the biggest open world yet, with the most side objectives yet. Are we ever going to get one of those smaller scale games ever again? And Yves Guillemot recently has come out with an interview answering that exact question. But it might not be exactly the answer we're looking for. On streams, on Twitter, all of the places that I exist, people have been asking me to talk about this and give my opinion, so I thought, it's a competent talking point. This is not a vapid subject, it's not a epic new AC leak. This is a genuine interview with the CEO of a large game corporation talking about the future of one of their biggest franchises, a franchise that I have a lot of history in, so why not discuss this, sit down and talk about what's going on here. So as everybody knows, in 2017, Assassin's Creed Origins was released, which saw the change and shift from the traditional Assassin's Creed formula to this new one that follows in the footsteps of The Witcher 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, games of that nature, more of an RPG approach. However, Assassin's Creed Origins still retained a lot of what made Assassin's Creed at its core. Moving forwards, they decided to stray even further from traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay, storytelling, all of those elements in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, taking it one step closer to being not Assassin's Creed. Now, this split a lot of fans of this franchise, as it's been doing for years upon years. There is no one clear Assassin's Creed identity. There have been many over the years in its existence. You could argue that the identity of the brand, or the identity that it should have, is what it originally was intended to be, but that doesn't change the fact that it's cultivated fans for many of its different identities, whether that be the social stealth blade in the crowd, whether that be the open world sailing aspects of the game, whether that be the games that are more focused on history, whether that be the ones with light RPG elements, heavy RPG elements, or a million side quests with player choice. There are so many different Assassin's Creed titles, and so you can't really explain what Assassin's Creed's identity is in 2019, and like I said, because of that, it split the fan base. There are so many different groups that like different games because they've made so many different types of Assassin's Creed games. And like I said, these older games used to be very smaller, contained stories. They were far more linear. You still had the open worlds to explore. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed Unity. It's one of the nicest looking Assassin's Creed games. It's the nicest looking Assassin's Creed game that we've ever had. The world is huge, it's detailed, and it's interesting. With, another year or so, it could have been the greatest one they'd ever made, but unfortunately they decided to rush it out, and then we got this new direction a few years later. But people have been asking, will they ever go back to that? Will we ever have another Unity, another AC2? What are we gonna see moving forward, or are we just gonna have these continual steps away from what made Assassin's Creed? And Yves Guillemot has given us an answer. Yves answered by saying, our goal is to make sure that you can have a Unity within an Odyssey. If you want a story of 15 hours, then you can have it. But you can also have other stories. You live in that world and you pursue what you want to pursue. You have an experience, many Unity-like experiences. Guillemot added that the open world model is sustainable as the market for it is constantly growing. He also discussed the increasingly long tail of Ubisoft titles as a positive factor. He then goes on to say that it's sustainable because the world is big and the number of players that can play our games is immense. What we've seen in the last few years is the number of players that play our games is constantly growing. New markets are opening up and games live a lot longer than before. So at the moment, we see that we can continue to increase the investment because we know that we can have a return on that investment, and it can be quite long-tailed. Our teams don't stop after launching the game. We have huge teams that continue to create content for players to stay in those universes that they love to be in. The fact we have some players buying items in these games is giving our teams a chance to continue creating extra content. With Assassin's Creed Odyssey, players got a lot from their investment in the game, a lot more than they got before. To anyone reading this, if you don't know Ubisoft, if you don't know the Assassin's Creed brand, I mean, this might seem like a positive thing to say. Like, they're trying to please everybody. They're like, look, if you like Unity, you can have Unity experiences if that's what you want to pursue. If you like Odyssey, you can have Odyssey experiences if that's what you want to pursue. Well, backing it up with, we're able to do this and provide extra content and make games live a lot longer by you buying microtransactions. This is the strangest article I've fucking ever read. I don't understand. Why? So for a start, Yves Guillemot is the CEO of Ubisoft. I mean, he doesn't understand video games. Let's get that right out of the way, straight away. Yves Guillemot does not understand video games. So what he's saying doesn't have any merit to it. You can't take this and go, oh, it means that in the next game, they're going to make it so that you can go and do a million side quests if you want, but also you can do a 15-hour story. No, he's talking about Odyssey here. He believes, because he doesn't know, he doesn't understand. He believes that Odyssey contains many Unity-like experiences. That's what he believes, because he's like, Unity, small game. Odyssey, big game. Lots of stories, that means lots of Unities. That is what he's saying here, because he doesn't understand that those games are vastly different. He doesn't get it. He's not a game developer. He doesn't fucking... If you think Yves Guillemot cares about the games he puts out, you're an idiot. He's the CEO of a mega corporation. He doesn't care about Assassin's Creed. He cares about making money, and he's very good at it. And that's why he's so good at talking like this, because this is a very manipulative statement. Because what he's saying, in a sense, is that if you like Odyssey, we're going to keep making them. So don't worry about that, buy the next game. But if you don't like Odyssey, if you prefer these older games, here's a vague statement that makes it sound like we're doing something in the future, whereas all I'm doing is saying that the stories that you can experience in Assassin's Creed Odyssey are basically loads of mini Unities. It's so dumb. And then at the end, he's obviously going off and saying, he's basically just saying microtransactions help us do this. So the idiots that believe this will be like, oh my god, yes, if I buy a microtransaction, I get a cool thing, but also it's helping support the company I love. They're going to do things that I like. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking read. This is a really stupid fucking article. And Yves Guillemot is being incredibly manipulative and incredibly false. What he's saying is not sincere, and what he's saying is not true. I don't think there's any substance to what he's saying. I don't think there's any... He's not talking to anything specific. He's vaguely talking about Assassin's Creed as a brand and this new direction, and saying that because we have all of these side quests, that it's like you get the Unity experience, but you get lots of them in a really big world. So basically what he's saying is, the next game will be an RPG, and it'll be the same. That's what he's saying, and so they're not leaving this route anytime soon. They don't give a shit about social stealth. They don't give a shit about whatever else. Yves Guillemot's basically, just to clear things up, Yves is basically saying, Odyssey's the way forward, and that's what we're doing. With a little bit of manipulation in there, a little bit just vague enough to make hardcore fans that aren't looking into this enough to make them buy the next game. Because you've got this audience of, Assassin's Creed fans that don't give a shit anymore. It's like, show us something good or fuck off. Like myself, like Ethan, Tyler, George, the four pillars, the best, that are just like, look, either show us something good, right, or get lost. I don't care about... You can speak all day, but if you're not showing anything, then I don't care. And then you've got these other fans that just, for whatever reason, they long for the old days, but they keep buying every new game and then saying how, they didn't do it this time. Maybe next time, though. And it's those people that Yves trying to get here with his statement. It's these people that will always be, maybe next time. No, never again. It's not happening. It's dead. Basically what he's saying here is more RPGs. That's what we're doing, more RPGs. That's all it is, and he's got to bound it in a way that's manipulative. Just vague enough to manipulate people into buying games. I mean, he's a businessman, so good job. Good job. That's really all I have to say on the matter. I might have gone on for a little bit too long, but I wanted to go into this a bit deeper than, other people might do. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this properly, give it a bit of an analysis. Why not? If you haven't already, check out my Saboteur Retrospective. I'll link it down below and on a card. I would appreciate it. I worked very, very hard on it. It took me too long to make. And I'd love if you could go and give us some support, even if it's just a like over there. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's it for this video. I'll see you next time. Greedful review should be out as soon as possible. I still need to finish the game, but hopefully it'll be out soonish. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Kingdom of the Third, Smexy Dork, Elsa91, Seth, and Josh DeVilliers. Really appreciate it, boys. You're a great help, and you help support the channel, Tyler's channel, Kill Connor Club, Clubhouse, Cinema Room, all those things. Thank you very much. So let me know your thoughts on this down below, as always. I'll see you next time, boys. Bye-bye.